All right, good morning. A few things to cover today. Nothing, I don't know, I was going to say too huge, but there's quite a few things that are on there, I guess, that could qualify as that. So we'll just kind of jump into the aggravated assaults. One of those and then the weapons violation are tied together, but that was this morning. Sometime around 7:30, we had two different people that were shot with airsoft guns. Both of them were outside. One of them was near 13th Street and Prairie Avenue, and then there was another person that was outside near 10th and Prairie Avenue. A gray car drove by and ended up shooting both of them with airsoft. They had some welts, so no serious injuries with that. Don't have a whole lot of information on the car. I think a gray sedan was about all we had for a description. About in that same area, this was near, let's see, the 400 block of South Summit Avenue, so near 12th and Summit. This was about 1 a.m. We had, somebody actually saw this, which helped kind of piece things together, but we had a guy that was talking to a woman inside. The car started to drive away. The guy pulled out a gun and started firing it at the car. I don't have a number of gunshots, but several was the way it was described. Eventually, officers found the victim and learned that the guy that fired the gun was an ex-boyfriend. He has not been found, so we have information on obviously who he is, but he was not found. Some type of dispute between the two of them, but she was not injured. Her car was not struck with bullets. We didn't have any other reports of any damage either. Let's see, so the next one, that was about 8:30 last night near 6th Street and West Avenue. We had a woman that was outside. There was a car that drove past, and she saw a couple of people. One of them pointed a gun at her. She thought she recognized that person. Sounds like there was some problems between relatives, her relatives, and this person's. Gunshots at that one. And the last one was a stabbing, and that was yesterday morning. That was about 10:45 in the 400 block of, let me see. That might have been where it was reported at. I don't. It might have been, it was on Spring Avenue, maybe near 6th Street. But our victim in this case was walking. He said there was a couple of guys that came up to him. He thought both of them were Hispanic, maybe late teens, early 20s, and they kind of, some words between the two of them. He had just left a store and had some beer that was in his backpack. They asked what was in the backpack, and when he said beer, one of them pulled out a knife and started swinging it. He had a cut to his arm and was transported by the ambulance to go to the hospital. The suspects basically disappeared. They didn't take anything, so I'm not sure what exactly the words that were spoken before that. The victim was pretty intoxicated, so hopefully we'll be able to get some more details today from him.
What were the injuries described as?
It was, I think it was just the one cut to his arm.
No life-threatening?
Yeah, non-life-threatening injury. Let's see here. Yeah, just the one cut on his right arm. That's what it says in the report.
You said that was near 6th and Spring?
6th and Spring, yeah.
Around what time?
That was about 10:45 yesterday morning. Okay, burglaries, one of those I don't have a report yet. The other involves juveniles. The disorderlies, nothing big from those. The embezzlement was some cash taken from a register. The family offenses, one of those is a stalking. I'm not sure how it ended up as a family offense. From what I can tell, it doesn't seem to be that, but this was Yeah, here, about 7:30 last night, maybe a little bit before. Our victim is a 14-year-old girl, and she was walking and then noticed a vehicle started following her. Let's see, so she... So she was walking to a friend's house, and it was in the area of 10th Street and Lowell Avenue, and she noticed this vehicle was following her. And then she saw that it looked like the driver was taking some pictures of her. She wasn't really sure. She ended up running to a business and basically kind of a busy area, and he followed into the lot, and then she went inside. Let's see, we were able to figure out who the suspect is, and once she was inside the building, she did take a picture of the vehicle, and that had the license plate, so that was obviously what led us to him. Once they kind of figured everything out, he was arrested for stalking, and I think it was just the one count of that. So I'm not sure why it fell under a family offense, but I don't see any connection between the victim and the suspect. So she was obviously freaked out and didn't know him. So we just had that one count. John, his name? Yep. Last name, I'll spell it, Vuocolo. First is Joseph, Joseph. Middle is Michael, Michael, and he's 52 from Sioux Falls.
Do you have the block where that business was located?
Yeah, that is... I think I do. Lowell, 10th and Lowell. And nothing else. The other family offenses were protection order violations, no contact violations. The frauds, we had credit cards, and somebody had a wallet taken. Larcenies, nothing big out of those. A few unlocked cars, businesses, bicycles, packages, a couple of catalytic converters taken. Narcotics are meth. The sex offenses are all reports. Nothing suspicious from the unattended death. The vandalisms, most of those, I'd say kind of our normal stuff. Cars were damaged, houses were damaged. We did have a couple of reports that probably seemed to be related, but one of them was a guy that was using a baseball bat and broke out car windows in an apartment parking lot. That was about 11:30 last night. Had 13 cars that had windows broken on them. And then there was another one, possibly two. We're not sure at this point if they're related or not, but it was basically the same thing. Somebody used a bat to break out car windows, and one of them was near 3rd and Highland, and the other was on Colville. I think that was the 1000 block of North Colville, I believe, but that one's a little bit farther away. But again, we're not able to conclusively say that they're related, but there's some similarities with those.
What was the first location?
Where the parking lot at 6th Street and Bonson is where that was where the 13 cars were damaged.
How many other cars were damaged in other two incidents?
Two.
Two?
Yeah, just one per report on that one.
And was an arrest made or
No arrest is made. Just had a very generic description of the suspect. And the last thing, the weapons violation, that was tied with first aggravated assault, the airsoft. So, and the only other thing I was going to talk about is tonight is the National Night Out, and this is something that we've been doing in Sioux Falls for a long time. I'll put it that way. We're probably looking at over 35 years that we've been doing this, taking part in this. And this was a program is basically just designed to kind of get people out of their houses, connect with with each other, connect with one another. And what we found is if people know each other, they're more likely to look out for each other. And so it's almost like a neighborhood watch type of thing. If people know each other, they're familiar with them, with the vehicles they drive, and if they see something out of the ordinary, they're more likely to call police. So this is a great event. It's a national event, and we obviously have been taking part in this for quite some time. We'll have police, fire rescue, a lot of other city departments that'll be stopping by. We've got quite a few different neighborhood associations that are having events. The events range, I mean, we've seen all kinds of stuff. It's little gatherings in driveways, it's bigger events in parks, sometimes there's bands involved. Everybody does things a little bit different, but the big goal is just to get people together, just get to know their neighbors and make the community a better place.
It's an annual event, right?
It is an annual event, yep. August 2nd every year, or not the Tuesday, first Tuesday I think is what it is.
And so we'll have Sioux Falls Police Department participating, Sioux Falls Fire Rescue, City Sioux Falls Departments all participating.
Yep, and it's one of those things we go around, we have officers that'll stop out at every single event, and we sent out the list yesterday. It's always kind of a fluid thing. We always seem to have more at the end once people hear about it and decide that they want to join in, which is great. The more participation we get, the greater good that comes from that. Anything else? Okay.
Yeah, I just found that second aggravated assault on near the 400 block of South Lemon Avenue.
Yep.
Were any shell casings found?
I believe there were, but let me double check. I don't see anything. Let me check one other thing. Yes, there were 5 shell casings that were found.
Shell casings. And can I get an age on the victim?
Yeah. The victim is 34 from Sioux Falls. Anything else? Okay, thanks.